Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my collection and declutter for my bronzers and highlighters. Now this is my second drawer of blushes. So primarily here I have blushes. I'm not going to be decluttering these today. I'm going to be focusing on this section right here. These are my bronzers and highlighters. I have a couple, I believe I'll go through. I have a couple of like miscellaneous highlighters in here, but for the most part all of my highlighters are in here, and I have a few more highlighters and highlighter palettes down here. So this is primarily what we're going to be focusing on today, and I don't plan on getting rid of that many. I do have a few that I am going to get rid of, but for the most part I don't buy that many highlighters and bronzers in particular. So the ones that I do have, I really do use and enjoy. My blushes, on the other hand, that's going to be the last video in my collection and declutter series. My blushes are 2 drawers full of blushes, so it's going to be a very long video, and it's probably going to be the one video where I don't declutter almost anything. I may have a blush or two that I declutter, but it's the biggest part of my collection. So let's go ahead and get into my bronzers and highlighters. I am going to be showing you guys close-ups and swatches of everything. So let me go ahead and start back here. This is my Kathleen Lights highlighter palette. I recently got this. I'm sure you guys have seen this and swatched and reviewed online. It is pretty new to my collection. I have only swatched this bad boy, but I really do love this highlighter palette. It's gorgeous. I like the formulation of it. So those are them right there. I like the formulation of it. I don't think it's too chunky or anything like that. So sorry if my camera isn't focusing. I'm trying to give you guys the best swatches possible. So that's what it looks like right there. I am going to be keeping this. I purchased it. I believe it only released a couple of months ago, so I'm definitely not getting rid of this palette. Another highlighter I have here is from Laura Geller, and this is the Baked Highlighter in the color Portofino, and I actually think I'm going to declutter this one because it's a little chunky. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's not very pigmented and it's a little chunky. I really don't like it, so I'm kind of glad I picked up a mini of this. I might put it in my eyeshadow drawer for a little bit, but to see if I use it as a single shadow, but I really don't. I don't like it as a highlighter. It's too chunky as a highlighter for me. The next highlighter I think I'm definitely going to declutter is this highlighter from Cougar, and this is the Mineral Face and Body Shimmer, and it's in Diamond Kiss, and I haven't even used it. So it still has like the seal and everything on it, and it's just like a really yellow highlighter. And that's it right there. I don't really like loose highlighters like this, so I think I'm just going to give it away to somebody or pass it along to friends and family, because I really don't think I'll get much use out of this one. So the last highlighter I have back here is a highlighter from ColourPop, and this is in the color Wisp, and I love this highlighter. It's super creamy. It's really nice. I really do like this highlighter. I love applying this with my finger. You can kind of shear it out, so it kind of can be like a subtle highlight. So because it's a subtle highlight and it's a cream highlight, you can actually use this as a base for a more intense highlight and just put like a powder highlight on top. But I like to use this kind of just on its own. I do use it on its own. I apply it with a finger. I think that's the best way to apply ColourPop highlighters. So that's how I like to use that. So up here I have some like cream highlighters, and I am going to go ahead and get rid of this thing. It's the Naked Illuminated by Urban Decay. I actually had a friend give this to me. It's pretty much like a body shimmer. So I don't know if you guys can see how glittery that is, but it's pretty much just a body shimmer. I don't think it works really well as a face highlight, and I don't necessarily use body shimmers, so I'm gonna pass it along to somebody who would use a body shimmer. I might give it to my sister because I think she likes using body shimmers, but I really don't have any use for it, and it's really big, really bulky, and it's just kind of sitting here in my collection, and I haven't used it because I don't think it's a good face highlight. So I have a couple of liquid highlights here. This is the Stila All Over Shimmer Liquid Illuminator in the color Kitten, and I love this highlighter. I use it in a very similar way like my ColourPop one, where I just use my finger to apply it. And kind of dab it into the skin. It's a really, really nice highlight. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'll try and turn down the brightness a little bit so you guys can see that. But it's a really, really nice subtle highlight. This is really good for mixing in with foundation. So I like this one to mix in with foundation, or just to give a subtle highlight, or to use as a base. Again, very similar to the ColourPop one. Then I have the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, and this is in the Moonstone color. This one is a little bit light for me, but I still like it, and I like to use this one, again, as a base. I like my cream highlighters, and I like to use them as bases. It's really, really nice, but again, it's a little on the light side for me, but I do like to use this for mixing in with foundation. And then I have the Shimmering Skin Perfector, and this one is an opal. I don't think I've used this one yet. I just recently got this one, so I'm still going to keep this one because I want to see if this is supposedly a little bit darker than Moonstone, so that might work better for me. If I like the opal one, I'll just go ahead and get rid of the Moonstone one. And I recently got this. This is the Smashbox LA Lights Blendable Lip. Oh my god, I can't speak today. Smashbox LA Lights Blendable Lip and Cheek Color. And this is a stick in the color Silver Lake Sunset. And this is kind of like a peachy highlight. I don't know if you guys can see that. I hope you guys can see that. Cream highlights are a little bit harder to see on my skin. I hope you guys can see that. These are all pretty much just like subtle highlights. So I do like and I do enjoy all of these highlights here. So I am going to be keeping them. Next, I have two highlighters from Wet n Wild. And these are, the first one has like the original like Fergie name on it still. And this one is in Hollywood Boulevard. I believe this is still current, but they might have just changed the name of it. So that's what it looks like. It's a really nice formula. I really do like this highlighter. And I'm going to be keeping this. And then the other one is, it doesn't have the Fergie name on it, but it's called I'll Have a Cosmo. I can't remember what the Fergie, the Fergie one was called. But again, they had these, I guess, back when Fergie had created a line with them. And then they ended their contract with her. So that's what that looks like, and that's a little bit more of like a pinky highlight. I hope you guys can see those swatches. So that's a little bit more of like a pinky highlight. So I'm going to be keeping those two. This is a brand new bronzer to my collection, and it's the Smashbox Bronze Lights in Warm Matte. And that's what the bronzer looks like. I haven't even used this yet, and I may not use it. I may actually end up selling this thing because I don't think I'm going to use it. I'm not a huge bronzer person, but this came with like a set, and so I'll either pass it along, put it in a giveaway, or just sell it. I don't think I'm going to use this, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it now. I don't know what I'm going to end up doing with it, but I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it. This next is a mini sample of the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. This is the pressed version in the color Opal. And this is one of my favorite highlighters. I love the formulation of these skin perfectors. I don't think you need more than a mini. Honestly, these are so intense and so bright that you really only need a little bit of it. I've been using this mini for a bit, and I don't know if you guys can see, but I've barely put a dent in this. I barely tap my brush in here, and that's all I need. So I really do enjoy these minis. I'm going to try and find Moonstone in a mini, but so far I like Opal. This next one is also a mini. This is a mini from NARS in the color Laguna. If you guys saw my, what's in my travel, like my makeup travel bag, or my travel makeup bag, you would have seen this. I'm sure everyone has seen it. This is the shade I like to use when I contour. So that's it right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's very similar to my skin tone. I don't really like bronzers or contour colors that are too, I guess, like intense or deep and dark of a color. So I do like this mini. Next, I have two of the Too Faced Chocolate Soleils. So I'm actually going to keep this one because I like that it has a mirror. I like that it's in compact form, and it's brand new. I haven't even touched it. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this one, and I'm going to get rid of this one. It's the exact same shade. I have played around with this one, and I do like this bronzer, but I just don't like the cardboard packaging. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass it along to somebody because there's no point in having two. And like I said, I barely use bronzer, so I'm just going to go ahead and pass this one along. Then I have this Laura Mercier bronzer. This is the Matte Radiance Baked Powder in Bronze 03, and I think I got this in like a Sephora like favorites set, and it's a really nice bronzer, but it does pull a little bit orange on me. So I haven't really played around with it much, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep it and pull around with it, but I am going to try and use this a little bit more. And if I don't use it within the next couple of months, so by the end of the year, I like to do a big decluttering by the end of the year around New Year's. And so if I don't use it by the end of the year, I'm just going to get rid of it. So this next highlighter it's technically a Gleam Tones powder. It's called Dunes at Dusk, and it was from like that MAC, I don't even know what the collection was, but it was like that, there was like a big controversy with this collection because I guess I thought it was Native American inspired, but I guess it wasn't Native American inspired. They were trying to say that it was like a music festival inspired, but I mean, I try and stay away from that type of drama. I didn't buy it because like I supported MAC's decision. I thought it was a little shitty of them to say that it wasn't Native American inspired, even though it clearly is. But you know, I bought the product. I use it already. I really like this powder. It's more of like a pinky highlight on me. I don't know. I don't really want to get more into this product than I already have. So let's move on, and I have another MAC product. This is from the Star Trek collection, and this is the one, I have two other powders, but they pull more as blushes on me. This one pulls more as a highlighter on me. So this is called Luna Luster, and it's the Trip-the-Light Fantastic Powder, and this is gorgeous. There you go. So it has this really cool design, and the design doesn't go away when you swirl it around. So it's kind of like completely through the product. So that's what it looks like. It's a really nice subtle highlight. It's not super glittery or chunky. I enjoy the product. I really do like it. The next one I have here is from Too Faced, and this is the Sun Bunny Luminous Bronzer, and it's the one with like the four colored strips on it, and I really do enjoy this one, but it pulls definitely like more gold. So this is something that I kind of use as an all-in-one product. It's kind of like a blush and a bronzer at the same time. I normally won't wear a blush, highlighter, and bronzer kind of all in one. So I'll kind of just like swirl this all over my cheeks, and I really do like it. This one, however, I'm going to get rid of. This is a bronzer from Model Co. And this is the Shimmering Bronzing Powder. And it is exactly that. I don't know if you guys can see, but this is ridiculously glitter filled. It is so chunky and so glittery. That's that right there. And it's not light enough like Sun Bunny. I don't know if you guys can see. This is definitely like pulling more towards a bronzer. In person, it's a little bit more orange. Sun Bunny kind of has like more of that like softer, like goldish feel to it. So I can get away with using this like all over my cheeks. I can't really get away with using this as like an all-in-one product because it's too dark. So I don't like this as a bronzer. It's way too dark on me. I can't use it as a highlighter. So for that reason, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it. And the last product I have in here is my Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. And this one is in the, I think they only had one color. This is in the bronzer color. And I love this bronzer. This, if I do wear a bronzer, this is exactly the type of bronzer that I like to wear. I like to wear something that kind of like blends in with my skin tone. You can barely see it. I like to use bronzers to kind of finish off my blush, if that makes sense. So I'll kind of use a light bronzer to kind of blend in my blush a little bit more. Or buff in my blush a little bit more. So I'll put a bronzer on after I put on my blush, and then I'll top it off with a highlighter. So this is my go-to bronzer right now. I really do love this product, and I like to stick to bronzers that have a very similar color and a similar effect as that bronzer. So this is everything that I'm keeping. So let's see if we can pull up some of these highlighters from the next drawer in here. So this is my next drawer down. Hopefully you guys can see everything. Again, I'm sorry if the lighting is a little bit terrible, but you know, this is what I have to work with. So here, for the most part, I keep my like face palettes. I don't know if I'm going to include it in this video. I'm going to try and film it along with this video. If not, I may do like a separate video with these. But here I keep my excess like highlighters. So I'm going to start in the back. Here I have the Too Faced Candlelight Glow, and this is in the color Warm Glow. I believe the other one has a little bit more of like a pinky hue to it. This is more like a peachy gold. I love this highlighter. I really do love this highlighter. And of course, like finger swatches with highlighters don't always do it justice. They do look a lot better when you apply them using a brush. But that's what that looks like right there. It's a gorgeous highlight. So I'm going to be keeping that. Then I have the two highlighters from Wet n Wild. So these are the Mega Glow highlighters in the color Crown of My Canopy and Precious Petals. I did manage to get these off of the Wet n Wild website. However, these are just okay. These are just okay. So that's Precious Petals. It's Precious Petals right there. And then this one here is Crown of My Canopy. And this one is definitely more of like a rose gold. So this is more of like a blush topper for me than a highlighter. But I just keep them together. I am going to keep these two because I only recently picked them up and I do enjoy them. But I don't know, like, I feel like they got so much hype and they're really not, I don't know, they're not like a Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. Like, they're really not that awesome for all the hype that they got. So next I have a Maybelline Master Highlight. This is the highlighting bronzer in the shade Light Bronze. And it's one of those like mosaic style. I originally bought this as a blush, but I don't know if you guys can see, it's definitely not a blush. It's definitely more of like a highlighter on me. And I think I'm going to go ahead and pass on this one because I don't like using it. I get annoyed every time I see this, and I thought it was going to be a beautiful blush and it ended up being a highlighter. And The brush doesn't really pick this product up that well, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it. Then I have this Catrice highlighting powder, and this is in the color Champagne Campaign. And that's what it looks like right there. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous highlight. I talked about this in my travel makeup bag. It is a little bit powdery, but I think it melts really nicely into the skin. So when you initially apply it, it is a little bit powdery, so you kind of do have to kind of like buff it into the skin. But if you do that and then you apply a setting spray, it looks gorgeous. And I really do enjoy this. This is only like $2-3. I think it's a great highlighter. Next, I have these 3 highlighters from Lorac, and these are the Light Source highlighters. And I like to keep these for the boxes because the boxes actually have like the shades on them. So it's like a quick reference for me. This one is in the color Starlight, and this is kind of like the light gold one. This is like a very, very light gold highlighter. I guess it shows up more like a silvery color on my skin tone, but it is really like a light gold highlighter. So these are brand new to my collection. I picked these up during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. This next one is in the color Daylight, and this is like a little, it's still a light gold, but it has a little bit more yellow in it than Starlight. So that's it right there. So I don't know if you guys can see, it has a little bit more yellow in it in comparison to Starlight. And then the last one that I picked up is in Twilight. And this is the darker of the 3. In no way is this like an extremely dark highlighter in my opinion. It's still a pretty light highlighter, but it's definitely a more gold highlighter than the other 3. It actually has a little bit of kind of like a rosish hue to it. So that's it right there. So this is Twilight, Daylight, Starlight. And I love the formulation of these highlighters. These are extremely smooth. They're extremely bright. They're not glittery. They're not chunky. So I'm glad I picked these up during the 21 Days of Beauty. And then the last highlighter I have here is my all-time favorite highlighter. This is the Mary Luminizer by The Balm. This is my first highlighter. This is the first highlighter I ever picked up. I actually picked this up off of Haute Look. It was like 50% off. It's just a gorgeous highlight. I think it looks very similar to the Daylight one from Lorac, but definitely not getting rid of this one. So that's everything. That's my entire highlighter and bronzer collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you enjoyed going through my collection and decluttering with me. Please give this video a thumbs up if you do. Thanks again for watching, guys, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.